Hey everyone, welcome to another video. In this video I'm gonna be reviewing all the Kiko Milano limited editions, a new makeup that I've tried in the past few months. This is gonna be a bit of a roundup after I have tried all these products a bit more and I've really made up my mind about them. I always, well, basically always, if the collection is somewhat exciting, I review the new Kiko cosmetics, their new limited editions, their new products. And I also like to update you on what I think after using it a bit more, because a first impression doesn't always tell you everything. Sometimes you kind of change your mind. So that is what we're going to talk about today. I have a lot of products here in front of me. I have products from the Sweet Affairs collection, from the Happy B-Day Bellezza collection, and also from the Blossoming Beauty collection. And then I have a mini eyeshadow palette that I also wanted to chat about. So let's get into it. So let us start with the first collection that they came out with this year, and that is their Valentine's collection, the Sweet Affairs collection. I had some mixed feelings about this collection when I bought it, but in the end there are some gems in here, like some great products that I have to tell you about, and that I would say grab these on sale because they are so worth it. First up, one of my new favorite lip lines, like lip products, lip types, how do you call it, is the Sweet Affairs Sweet Kiss Duo Liquid Lip Color. So in the video I tried a 02, which is kind of like a medium toned warm brownish nude, and these lip products, this line has lip products where you have kind of like a matte liquid lipstick, which is a very nice and thin, not drying at all. If you have really dry lips, then it can be a bit drying. I mean, it is a liquid lipstick, but it does feel very comfortable. And then we just have this gloss side, which is not too sticky, not too glossy, and it just makes it look like a very beautiful satin lip. And this is just a very long wearing, very comfortable. I think it looks beautiful on the lips. It just makes your lips look less... It just makes them look a little bit airbrushed, very beautiful, a little bit plumped, even though it is kind of like a matte satin liquid lip. So I'm really impressed, and that's also why I bought another shade. I also bought a 01. This one is really light. Be warned, it is very light, but I also wear these together, kind of mix it, so I have a shade in between. But all in all, I'm very impressed with this lip collection, like with these lipsticks, because you have some options here, but both are very comfortable. When I bought them, I thought that the matte side was going to be very uncomfortable and sticky, and that you would have to wear a gloss, but you can really choose. The matte side on its own looks very beautiful. It feels very nice, but then when you apply the gloss on top, it still feels good. It isn't like moving around everywhere. The two sides really work together well. I'm just very impressed. I love how it looks. I love how it wears. I only had one time that it felt a little bit drying on my lips when I had really dry lips. So it is not like a miracle product, but it is very good, and to me these are the most comfortable liquid lips that I have tried, that are also very long wearing, because I have tried some liquid lips that were a little bit more moussey, so a little bit more comfortable, but they don't last as long. So I'm really impressed with these. I would highly recommend them. Check them out. They are only like 11 euros, and they are also on sale right now, I believe. So if you are always struggling with finding a good liquid lip, I think this is a very good option. They smell like chocolate, but not too overpowering. So if you are very sensitive to scents, this isn't their worst collection for sure. The scents on these, it's doable. It's doable. Speaking of scents, we have the Sweet Affairs Melting in Love scent. And this is such a beautiful perfume. I have worn this a bunch. This perfume smells so gourmand, like very sweet, but in a very kind of seductive, grown-up way. It doesn't smell sweet in a girly way, but more in a sexy way. It is just so yummy, but not like you want to eat it straight away. It just smells very warm and very vanilla and chocolatey, and it just smells very good, and I love it. And when I wear it, I just feel like I smell so good, and it smells amazing, and I love this perfume. This is one of the most interesting scents in my collection. I don't know how they did this, but I'm just really into the scent. I would highly recommend it. I don't know if they have it anymore. I just think they did a really great job with that one. It just smells very good. If you love sweet scents, but not too like sickly candy sweet, but kind of like sexy sweet, this is it. Then we have the Sweet Affairs eyeshadow palette. What is this one called? The Guilty Pleasure eyeshadow palette. It is a pretty good palette. It is a pretty cute palette. It is pretty nice, but it's not like mind-blowing. It is a palette where if you do look, it will come out cute, it will look nice, it will be pretty, you will feel pretty. At least I feel pretty when I wear this palette, but it is not mind-blowing. The quality in this is not mind-blowing. It's kind of like softly pigmented. You kind of can build the deeper shades up, but it's not like anything crazy. The shimmers are, they are not bad, but they are also not amazing. I mean, you see the shine on them. They are not like dry. You can get it on the eye, but they are not like sparkly, extremely shiny, anything like that. It is just a pretty decent palette that can give you a cute look that might make you feel pretty if you're into this kind of thing. It's a neutral palette as well. By the way, I love the packaging of this collection. I think it's really cool. That eyeshadow palette isn't the thing I would highly recommend. It usually isn't what I would highly recommend with Kiko, although there are some exceptions. There are some eyeshadow palettes that I'm really into from them, but this one is just pretty good. Then we have another lip product, and this is the Sweet Affairs Sweet Kiss Lip Stylo in 01, and this is an amazing lip product. This is kind of like a cool tone brown shade. It's not too deep, but it's also not very light. It is very comfortable. It looks so nice on the lips. It is a beautiful shade, but it also stays on all day. You can eat with this, you can drink with this. At least I can. I have worn this all day and it didn't come off, and it still felt comfortable. It didn't feel dry. It just looked amazing for the whole day, and that is something that you don't find a lot, because usually when it wears all day it's not that comfortable, but this is like both. It feels good, it looks good, you don't really have to think about it. It is such a good lip product. It feels amazing. The only thing that I would wish is that they would have more shades in this one, because they only have a purple one and then a red one of this as well, and those are not the shades that I need in my life of this type of lip product. I didn't buy any extras, but I am glad that I have this one and I really like it. Then we are moving on to the cheek products in this collection, and I've been kind of going back and forth, and there's one of these that I love and then two that I don't really know about. So we have the Duo Cacao highlighter palette. It's like the highlighter duo. The cute packaging once again. And you know what? This isn't bad, but these shades are like, who can wear both of these? I get that they probably put them together in a palette to save some money, but I mean, this is really deep and this is really light. This one is a bit more shiny. This one is a little bit more natural. It isn't a bad product at all. I mean, it is a Kiko baked highlighter. I have never tried a Kiko baked highlighter that I didn't like. So the quality is actually good, but I don't really know what to do with this. I can't really get excited about a product like this where I can only basically use one shade. And then it's also a pretty basic, just a very basic highlighter shade. So this is really making me go like, ooh, that is amazing. It is not bad, but I just don't really know what to do with this. And Kiko just comes out with so many limited edition products in beautiful packaging with beautiful shades. And then I feel like there are better options. I feel like there are better limited editions where you can just pick the one shade that is for you. I feel like this isn't really for anyone, even though the quality is not bad. Then we have the Cacao Blush Duos. This one is in Ruby Cacao, and this one I actually really love. And when I first bought it, when I first tried it, I was really scared because I thought that this is gonna be too light. But there is something about a very cool toned light pink blush that I am very much into because of this. This is pretty buildable, and it did turn out pretty bright in the end, especially with the topper on top. Mixing these two together, it is deeper than you would think. Of course, I can't really tell you if it would really work on medium skin, but on my skin it was very noticeable, and I just loved how it looked. I love this topper. It is a little bit deeper, so that also makes it a bit more noticeable, but this is like such a good find for me personally. I think this is a favorite. This is a new favorite. I love this blush duo together with the scent and the lippies. I think this is amazing. But then we also have another blush duo. This one is the other colorway in Sweet Biscuit. So this is Sweet Biscuit, and it is not bad. It's not bad quality, but it is so light. This blush is like a powder, like a smidgen darker than a powder, and I just can't really make this work for me. I think it looks a bit strange on me. I've tried it as a bronzer as well. It doesn't really work. I've tried it as a blush on its own, because in the first impression video I kind of mixed these blushes together, but when I tried it on its own it just didn't really work for me. The glowy shade in this is what I would have wanted in the highlighter palette. If this would have been in there, I would have loved it, because this is kind of like a cool toned peach shade, which looked very interesting and kind of pretty as a highlighter. It is just, it has something peachy to it, but the glow on it is quite cool toned. You can kind of see. And I have tried this as a highlighter and I really loved it. So it's like, I love half of this one, I love half of the highlighter palette. I don't really know what to do with it. I don't really know how to feel about them. But if you are really light, like much lighter than me, very fair, then the Sweet Biscuit is quite nice, but it's just not entirely for me. The other thing that I did say in my first impression, and that I still think, is that these blushes aren't really for people with deeper skin tones, and it would have been nice if they would have added a third colorway that was a little bit maybe berry or burnt orange, something like that, something interesting, or a cool tone brown that is a bit deeper, or I don't even know, but something a little bit deeper would have been nice with this collection. I did really love this collection as a whole. There are definitely some favorites from me here. There are definitely some things that I would highly recommend if you can find the perfume, the lip products. The cheek products are good, but you just have to check if it is your shade. There are some beautiful products here. That is my overall feelings and my overall thoughts about the Sweet Affairs collection. Let's move on to the next one. And the next one is the Blossoming Beauty collection. And this is like one of my favorite collections they have done because of the packaging to start with, but then the products themselves are also very beautiful. I love the colors they chose, like this purple and then the flowers. I'm just really into it. And then the actual components, it is so cute with the flowers. This is the Blossoming Beauty Multi-Finish Floral Blush in a lovely mauve. This is more of a satin blush. It is not extremely glowy, but it does have a glow. But we have the satin side here, and then this has a little bit of a glow, the outer part. But if you mix them together, if you just mix it a bit together and then apply it on your cheeks, it's a nice satin blush. It is not revolutionary, it is just a beautiful blush that gives you a natural glow. There are definitely more shiny blushes from Kiko. This is not the most shiny one, but all in all, it is quite pretty. But I feel like with this blush, the thing I'm most excited about is the packaging, like everything together. But the blush itself isn't my favorite blush from Kiko by far. It is a nice product, I would recommend it, but I've tried so many Kiko products this past year, and yeah, there are other blushes in this review as well that I think are like more special when it comes to the quality, but I just love the whole idea of this and the packaging, so I would still say it's very nice. Then we also have the Blossoming Beauty Floral Bronzer in the yellow packaging. I love yellow. I love yellow in the spring and summer, any time of the year. I love yellow. I think it's so cute, and I love this lighter shade of yellow. This bronzer I actually really like. It's a great bronzer. It doesn't have any shimmer in it, but it looks very natural. It looks very blended into the skin. It just has this natural glow to it that I really love. I love these types of bronzers. This is a great product. Sometimes Kiko does put some shimmers in their bronzers that I don't really love. I want the bronzer to be like glowy, but I don't want like shimmer specks, and this one doesn't have that. I think this is a great one, great quality. I like the bronzer more than the blush, just because I love this type of bronzer so much. It's just a good, decent, blendable, buildable bronzer that looks very natural. It is just very pretty. Then let's move on. I have a lot of products from this collection as well. We have the Dazzling Liquid Eyeshadow. I tried this a couple of times, different ways, and it looks so pretty in the tube. Like, you can see gold and pink and green and blue. On the eyes, it is pretty. And it does last. It does last on the eyes. It is a pretty eyeshadow, but I don't think it's special enough. I think there are so many beautiful iridescent eyeshadows out there right now. Like, from indie brands, but also different kinds of brands. Eyeshadow has really gotten so much better over the past few years, and this doesn't make it worth it that it is a liquid. It is a liquid and you go through the hassle of it being a liquid, but there are so many just pressed eyeshadows that give you a better result, a more beautiful effect, a more shiny effect. Even the eyeshadow that I'm wearing today, this is from the Nomad Cosmetics new eyeshadow palette, I feel like it is more shiny than this. So it isn't a bad product, but it's not worth going through the hassle of a liquid eyeshadow. I think it looks better in the tube than on the eye. So it is not bad, but I wouldn't say go and grab it. I think there are other ways you can get a better effect than this. But I still could get people that aren't really that much into eyeshadow or that much into makeup going to Kiko, seeing this, picking it up and really loving it, because it is very special in their makeup world. Like I said, in their way of using makeup. But for me, it's just not that special. Then we have the Blossoming Beauty Flower Escape Lip Oil, and this one I was pretty excited about because we have the little cornflowers inside. We have the like flower bits, and it looks really cute. It is not my favorite lip oil though, because it is very thin and you need some layers, like 5 layers, to make it really feel comfortable and nice and a bit hydrating. And I love it when products are just a little bit more thick. You feel it a little bit more on the lips, especially if it's supposed to be hydrating. As I said, it's not a terrible product. It does look nice and shiny. I just wish it was a little bit more hydrating, a little bit more thick. So I would personally skip on this one. Then we have the eyeshadow palette, which I have recommended in a video and I would recommend it, but there's a side note. I really like the packaging. I think the color story is very cute. I love the mauve shade in combination with the bronze, like the coppery bronze. I think it has a cute color story. Every time I've used it, I thought it looked very nice. The only thing is that this Freedom shade, it did get some heartburn. And I don't really mind it that much. I can still get it on my finger, get it on my eye. I can still put it on. It still works, but I would have wished that didn't happen. If that didn't happen, this would be like a new favorite palette. Now it is like good. But keep in mind that there is one shade in there that's a little bit hard to work with. Also, this one didn't have to be in there for me. For me personally, I don't love shades like that. I don't use them. I don't know what to do with them. So I think it is a nice palette. I would recommend it. But yeah, I cannot 100% recommend it if there's a shade that gets heartburn. But I personally don't mind it that much. Oh, by the way, I feel like I haven't explained that much about the formula. But the shimmers are very shiny and the mattes are more pigmented than the mattes in the Sweet Affairs eyeshadow palette. I thought they were very blendable and buildable. Usually their eyeshadow palettes that have this packaging are pretty good, and I also thought about this one. It was a good formula, more interesting than the Sweet Affairs eyeshadow palette. Then I got the Blossoming Beauty Flower Glow Hydrating Lipstick. This is a shiny lipstick in kind of like should we call this, like a reddish shade, but there's a little bit of a nudiness to it as well. It has a little bit of a toned down vibe to it as well. I think this lipstick is very beautiful. Just look at the embossing. This embossing with the flowers, I really love it. And we also have a flower. We also have a flower on the cap. This is just one of Kiko's sheer shiny, well, not too sheer, but like shiny lipsticks. They like to do them and I love them. They have a great formula for them and this one is no exception. If you see shiny lipsticks by Kiko, usually they are amazing. I only had one that I had some problems with because of the color. There was a lot of white in the undertone of the color and it just looked a little bit weird, but besides that, I only have had great experience with their shiny lipsticks and yeah, I really like this. I would recommend it. It's a great lipstick. I love the packaging. It's very cute. Whew. We have more. Next up, we have the Charming Lip Gloss in shade 01. So I have some mixed feelings about this. I like it, but I don't love it. I like it when I apply just a tiny bit of it, when I apply just a bit over a lipstick or a liquid lip or something like that. But if I apply this all over my lips, it just looks pretty bad. It feels gritty. If I apply too much, it seeps into the lines. It looks a bit goopy. It is just not the amazing lip gloss to wear on its own, but if you just wear it on top of something else, then it looks very pretty and shiny and it doesn't feel like too much. You just have to apply a little bit of it and then it does feel good and quite nice and pretty comfortable. But there's just a certain way I can wear it. I cannot wear this any way that I want. It is just very shimmery. It is a very shimmery lip gloss and yeah, it's a bit too much to wear it on its own. So the first time that I tried it, I really liked it because I put it on top of a lipstick. But the second time that I used it and I applied it all over, I hated it. So it's really how you would like to use it. If you're looking for a lip gloss to apply all over your lips, then I wouldn't go for the Charming Lip Gloss line. It's not good for that. Then another product that I've been going back and forth on, and this is the Blossom Beauty 3-in-1 all over stick. And I usually really like the all over sticks by Kiko, but this one is a little bit different than what they usually do. We have different packaging and then the actual product is in this smaller stick format and it's a little bit more shiny now. I just feel like this one is a little bit harder to blend than the sticks that they used to have. It is a little bit more creamy, which lifts up the makeup underneath a little bit more. Not like really lifts it up. It's more, once you blend it out, it's kind of like stuck. And then you really have to blend it and then it can cause it to look a little bit uneven. Like the original 3-in-1 all over sticks, they are creamy in kind of like a powdery way almost. So it lays on top of the makeup you have underneath and when you blend it, it just blends really easily. But this kind of sets almost in this really kind of wet way. So you can really tell where you applied it for a really long time. When you're blending, you really have to blend to not see those marks anymore. And I do like it in the end after I've applied it, but the other 3-in-1 all over sticks are just so easy to use and they are still on the website. Like Kiko still has them. And this is just a bit harder to use and I feel like they should have just kept it the way it was. Even though it's a little bit more shiny, I do love the original 3-in-1 all over sticks more. I thought maybe it would work on the lips because it's a bit more creamy, but it felt very uncomfortable. It's too thin for that and it didn't feel hydrating at all. It felt very drying. So it is an okay product. It's not bad, you can make it work, but comparing it to other cream cheek products that I've tried from Kiko, I think skip this one. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. So overall, I really love this collection. I love the packaging. We have a lot of beautiful products with just beautiful formulas, but they are not perfect. Like, we have a lot of products that have some pros and cons. I think what I would mostly recommend is the shiny lipstick, and then also the bronzer. I really like the bronzer. The eyeshadow palette I would also recommend, but you know, just keep it in mind. Yeah, those are my favorite. And of course the blush, it's really nice, but it's not the most special one. Then we have the Happy B-Day Bellezza collection, and in this collection we have the Holo gloss, but this is exactly the same gloss formula as the one that I just showed you from the Blossoming Beauty collection. Where is it? The Charming lip gloss. It's the same thing. Believe me, it's exactly the same thing, because I even bought the wrong shade from this Holo gloss and then saw that it was the exact same shade as this, so I bought the same lip gloss again. Like, one collection later they came out with the same lip gloss. So be warned, be careful what you buy and that you don't buy the same thing. I think that's a bit much, Kiko. Like, that's a bit risky. People are at so much risk to buy dupes if you just give it another name, but it's the exact same thing. It's risky. So this collection was a collection where they brought back makeup that was a favorite in past collections. To celebrate their birthday, they brought it back in a different packaging to like have those products again, so people could buy their favorites again. So I got this Holo lip gloss in 03. It is kind of like the same story as with the other lip gloss, even though this one isn't gritty. It looks a bit better worn on its own. I really like the shade. It looks very nice and shiny, but when I apply this on its own, it just seeps into the lines a little bit too much. So that's kind of like the problem with this as well. If you wear it on its own, it just doesn't look perfect. I don't feel like it's made for that. It just needs something underneath. If something else gives you like the color, then you don't have to apply too much of this, and then it actually looks pretty good. This feels more comfortable than the other gloss. It feels pretty nice, but it's not perfect, so it's not a favorite. I don't think I would highly recommend this gloss either. There are better glosses out there for sure, for the same price or cheaper. Then I got one of the Happy B-Day Bellezza magnetic eyeshadows. This one is in the shade 03 Charmer Burgundy. And this is one of those eyeshadows that is magnetic. But I have to be honest, I don't really care about that. But we have, like, you've probably seen this. We have this on the inside. Like, it feels kind of funny when you put your finger in there. And then if you would use a magnet, you can kind of like make the eyeshadow move around. I don't have a magnet in my house, in my life, so I haven't done that. This is a pretty fun thing, but it's a bit gimmicky, and even though it's not a bad eyeshadow, I don't think I would recommend this, because there are just Kiko single eyeshadows that are better than this, that have more of an impactful shiny shimmery look. It is glowy, but it isn't worth it. It's like 12.99 euros. It's not worth paying that price for just an okay eyeshadow in the world of indie multi-chromes and indie brands. Like, it's not worth it to me. I guess if you're just a regular consumer, you don't buy makeup a lot, you're just walking through the city, and then you end up at Kiko Milano and you see this, you think it's very fun, and you apply it and you think, oh, it's such a pretty eyeshadow. I can imagine that. But for me, this just isn't it. It is just not special enough to grab for a single eyeshadow like this. It's not shimmery enough. It does look pretty shimmery when you look at it, but in the end it's not as shimmery as other things that I've tried. Also as other single eyeshadows that I've tried from Kiko. So I personally wouldn't recommend it, even though it's not a bad product. But it is almost as much as their eyeshadow palettes, and I would say go for an eyeshadow palette, because the quality is not that much better. Then we have two last products, and I actually really enjoy these. So this is the Baked Bronzer in 02 Sienna from the Happy B-Day Bellezza collection. We have the very shimmery, quite nice, kind of sleek packaging from this collection. I'm really into this packaging. It has a magnetic closure. This is a very glowy bronzer. It is very blendable, very buildable. It has beautiful shade. I really love it. It smells amazing. It's from a summer collection, but it smells kind of chocolatey. I really love the scent of this collection. I didn't buy this one at the time. I only bought a highlighter from this collection, but I love that highlighter, so I decided to buy this. And I really love this bronzer. I think this is my favorite bronzer from Kiko Milano. It is so glowy, it is so beautiful, it makes me look so like healthy and bronze and summery. I'm really into it. And then we have a blush as well. Wait, what collection was this? This was, yeah, this is also, these are both from the Ocean Feel collection, and this is a blush on Mauve-Ment, and this is also very glowy. It is so pretty. I love the combination of these two. I wore these together to work as well. I was just very excited. If you don't know, this is a long story. Am I gonna tell it? Okay. Recently I got a job. I had to be in the office for 2 months, for 2 full months. I don't have to do that anymore now, but for 2 full months I was in the office and I didn't wear a lot of makeup, but I did reach for these 2 cheek products because I thought they were so amazing. So that says a lot. So I would highly recommend these 2 cheek products, like the bronzer and the blush. Go for them. The lip product, maybe not. The eyeshadow, also maybe not. I'm not that impressed. So in the end, I quite like the Happy Birthday Bellezza collection. I like that they brought back those cheek products. They are amazing, but as with all these collections, not everything is totally for me. So that is actually gonna be everything for this video. That is gonna be everything for... Oh wait. We have one more thing that is not part of a collection, but they came out with these mini me eyeshadow palettes. They are new in their collection, and I actually quite like this palette, but it is a bit of a, how should I say it? There are some good parts about this palette and there are some bad parts about this palette. I'm a bit on the fence because we have this shimmer and this shimmer. Those are very nice, and this matte and this one are very nice as well. Those 2 shimmers are very sparkly, very nice. I really like them. They just make your eyes look very good and they are very pretty. But then we also have this lighter satin and this lighter satin as well, and I just don't love those, and I think that they could have done something better with the palette. If only those were a little bit more pigmented, it just gave you a little bit more oomph. Then this would be a much better, but there are like 2 dots in the palette, but everything else is really nice. I mean, the shimmers are very sparkly. I really like the mattes in here. Why did I do that with the satins? I don't know. So it is a cute palette, but once again, it's not perfect. Would I recommend this? It really depends. I think this is a case of good for the price. It is good for the price. It is a cute little palette. It's not too expensive. We have some pretty shades in here, but like 2 out of the 6 shades are not that good. And I couldn't really make them work. So yeah. It's like parts of this makes me feel pretty impressed. And I know that Kiko can do pretty good eyeshadows. I just wish that they would do it more often. Okay, so this is really gonna be everything for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe. Also let me know if you have picked up any of these products. Did you try anything from these collections? I would love to hear from you, and then I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.